Good morning, Professor Dr. Ong Ain Teck, committee members of the conference, all participants, and my dear friends. My name is Yoong Soo, and my supervisor is Associate Professor Dr. Noraini Ahmad. The title of my presentation today is A Conceptual Framework to Design and Develop Dyscalculia Checklist Instrument for Dyscalculic Pupils. According to American Psychiatric Association 2013, the prevalence of specific learning disorder across the academic domains of reading, writing, and mathematics is between 5% to 15% among school-age children. The first shift in PPPM is providing an equal access to quality education of an international standard. In this case, government had increased the investment in physical and teaching resources for pupils with specific needs. According to Yahya, Ahmad, and Young in year 2019, education for students with learning disabilities should be given priority, and teachers has to ensure that every pupil with learning disabilities had the chance to learn according to their needs. In Malaysia, there are 6 categories of special needs pupils, which are pupils with visual impairment, hearing impairment, speech difficulties, physical disabilities, multiple disabilities, and learning disabilities. According to Young and Ahmad in year 2018, mathematics is one of the most important subjects, yet some pupils might face difficulties in learning it. Based on Chin, Pang, Wong, Tan, and Lee in year 2014, in Sabah, the researchers found out that 5.5% of the primary school students are suffering from dyscalculia. There are 8 concepts to be discussed in the part of literature review, namely cognitive theory, cognitive lot theory, connectivist theory, constructivist theory, design and development research, fuzzy Delphin method, nominal group technique, and dyscalculia. Number 1. Cognitive theory. According to Pound in year 2013, cognition involves activities such as attention, language, problem-solving, creativity, deduction, and decision-making. 4 stages in development proposed by Piaget, namely sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operations. According to Piaget's cognitive theory, pupils in concrete operational stage developmental operations develop the skills such as categorizing, use of numbers, and early scientific concept. Thus, the stage of development is related to the construct of number sense. Number 2, cognitive lot theory. According to Swallow in year 2011, 1994, and 2016, cognitive lot theory uses evolutionary theory to consider human cognitive architecture and uses that architecture to devise novel instructional procedures. Knowledge and intellectual skill based on knowledge are heavily dependent on schema acquisition. With decreases in differential knowledge between individuals, we should expect increases in the contribution of the role of working memory differences. Particularly, even though the amount of explicit instruction received by dyscalculic pupils are same with their peers, nevertheless, their mathematics performance is poor due to their lack in working memory. Hence, the construct of working memory is related to cognitive lot theory, which explains about the role of working memory in different individuals. Number 3, constructivist theory. According to Will Lovin, Cobb, and Bay Williams in 2018, constructivism is a theory of learning that explains that children learn by developing and modifying ideas and by making connection between these ideas. In this study, the construct of accurate and fluent calculation is supported by constructivist theory because calculation requires the pupils to construct their own knowledge according to the max questions given. Hence, the pupils have to know how to apply their knowledge in the new context. Then only they are able to solve the mathematics calculation fluently and accurately. Number 4, connectivist theory. According to Herlot in year 2017, connectivist approach of Siemens, Downers, and Cormier tends to elude the professor's role in learning, focusing on individual participants in learning, networking, and information flow between the nodes of network, resulting new forms of knowledge. So the construct of mathematics reasoning and word reasoning is supported by connectivist theory because it requires the pupil to explain about the solution with their own language, whereas the linking between mathematics and language is exactly what explained in connectivist theory. Number 5, Design and Development Research (DDR). According to Shahriar alias Ismail and Osman in year 2012, DDR provides an alternative to conduct rigorous and systematic design research based on solid theoretical foundation. In this study, the researcher will design and develop Dyscalculia checklist instrument for following the 3 phases stated in DDR, namely Phase 1 needs analysis, Phase 2 design and development, and Phase 3 evaluation. Number 6, Fuzzy-Delphi method. According to Ismail Mohammed and Hamza in year 2019, FDM is the combination between the fuzzy set theory and the Delphi technique. In this study, the researcher will invite 11 experts in designing and developing Dyscalculia checklist instrument for dyscalculic pupils in primary schools. Okay, number 7, nominal group technique. According to Horton in 1980, NGT is a structured method of group decision-making which allows a rich generation of original ideas, balanced participation of all members of the group, and a rank-ordered set of decisions based on mathematical voting method. Hence, in this study, NGT is employed to obtain the consensus from experts upon the construct and items of Dyscalculia checklist instrument during the Phase 3 evaluation. Lastly, Dyscalculia. According to Ferris and Neves in year 2015, Dyscalculia has its origin from the Greek dys and the Latin calculate, meaning a difficulty in calculation in applying math requirement. In this study, dyscalculic pupils are the pupils who achieve 5% bottom among the population in their mathematics assessment. This figure shows the conceptual framework of the study. 4 underpinning theories to design and develop Dyscalculia checklist instrument are Piaget's cognitive theory, Swaller's cognitive load theory, Brunner constructivist theory, and Siemens connectivist theory. Design and development research will be employed as the research approach. There are 3 phases, namely Phase 1 needs analysis, Phase 2 design and development, and Phase 3 evaluation. At the end of this study, Dyscalculia checklist instrument DCI will be produced. During Phase 1 needs analysis, the researcher will collect the responses from teachers and parents regarding the needs to carry out the research. During Phase 2 design and development, Fuzzy-Delphi method will be carried out with 11 experts. During Phase 3, evaluation of Dyscalculia checklist instrument will be carried out using nominal group technique. There are 4 main constructs in Dyscalculia checklist instrument, namely number 1, number sense, and then working memory, accurate or fluent calculation, and mathematics reasonings and word reasoning. Discussion and conclusion. To design and develop Dyscalculia checklist instrument, the researcher had designed a conceptual framework. This study will employ design and development research as the research approach. The data in Phase 1 will be analyzed by using SPSS. Phase 2 will apply Fuzzy-Delphi method to obtain the consensus from 11 experts. Phase 3 will be carried out by using nominal group technique. Hence, the result of this study is a product entitled Dyscalculia checklist instrument to detect the dyscalculic pupils in primary schools. The researchers would like to express our acknowledgement to the committee members of 5th International Conference on Management Engineering, Science, Social Science and Humanities. And we would also like to say thanks to University Pendidikan Sultan Idris for the allocation for us to participate in this conference. And the first author would like to express thanks to Ministry of Education Malaysia for the scholarship for a doctorate study. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumei. Thank you so much.